Okay, so get this.
Right.
For this deep dive, we're going into some German rap lyrics.
Okay.
They're called eingefügter Text,
Interesting.
which means like inserted text in English.
Okay.
But honestly, the title
Yeah.
doesn't really give you the full picture of what's in these lyrics.
Right.
We're talking a Newfoundland dog,
Huh?
aliens. We got some serious coding talk and like a whole lot of reflection on God's role in everything.
Huh. That's quite the mix.
Yeah, you wouldn't really expect
Mm-hmm.
to find these like really deep philosophical questions
Yeah.
embedded in like beats and rhymes.
Yeah, that's a really interesting combination.
So the big question that we're going to be looking at today
Okay.
is, can we actually take away spiritual insights
Okay.
from something as technical as like lines of code? So let's
Slip in.
let's jump into the first verse and see what we can find.
All right. Sounds good.
So right away,
Yeah.
we're introduced to like this massive Newfoundland dog. The lyrics describe him as built like a tank.
Wow.
And he also like happens to be this amazing coder,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got this unlikely partner in crime,
Okay.
this alien buddy who they call Zeta.
Wow. What a pair.
Talk about an odd couple, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But they're not like just coding for fun, are they?
No, not at
Or
all.
what-
They up to. They're building websites. They're troubleshooting all kinds of bugs, and somehow they're managing to fit in these deep conversations about faith,
While they're coding.
all while juggling all this tech. It's amazing.
That's wild.
They even name drop all these technical terms like
Okay.
TCP/IP, FTP, Perl React, and even SSL encryption.
So for those of us who like don't know all the code lingo,
Right.
what's the point of all that?
Well, it's not just about like showing off their tech knowledge.
Okay.
It's more about creating a certain atmosphere.
Okay.
Like they're drawing these parallels between coding and faith.
Mm.
You know, the complexity of both
Yeah.
and the underlying message here, it seems to be, that every single code block, every line of code, it's like infused with a higher power.
Okay.
Like God's woven into the digital world.
So it's like they're saying that the digital realm
Mm-hmm.
is just as like holy or sacred or divine
Yes.
as the physical world.
Yeah, precisely.
That's a really interesting idea.
And this idea is kind of reinforced by the refrain, you know, where they talk about lines of code flowing like a data stream, representing the interconnectedness of everything.
Okay.
So technology, faith, the search for truth.
Right.
It's all there within the source code of the universe, as they say.
That's a really cool image.
Yeah.
You have this constant flow of data, just like we have this flow of why, like energy and information in the universe.
It's a beautiful analogy.
But how does faith fit into all this?
That's where things get interesting.
Right.
The lyrics don't really give a straight answer, but they kind of invite us to think about the possibility
Okay.
that just like data flows through networks,
Yeah.
faith also flows through everything,
Okay.
connecting us all to something bigger.
I see. So it's not about like literally finding God in the ones and zeros,
Right.
but more about like recognizing a deeper connection,
Exactly.
sense of awe and wonder.
Yeah, in the face of the digital and the divine.
Okay, so we've got this foundation laid out
Mm-hmm.
in this first verse and the refrain.
Right.
But the lyrics don't stop there, do they?
Oh, not at all.
Where do they go from there?
Well, verse 2 takes us deeper into this digital world,
Okay.
exploring even more technical concepts and layering them with spiritual meaning.
All right, let's dive into that then.
That's good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into eingefügter Text.
Yeah.
So we just left off talking about bugs in the matrix.
Right.
And I got to say, my mind is still like buzzing
I bet.
from all these crazy concepts.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It really is.
But I think that's what makes these lyrics so fascinating.
Totally.
They really push you to think outside the box, you know?
Yeah, it's like we have to re-examine not just technology and spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
but also like what reality even is.
Exactly. It challenges your whole framework.
It really does.
And speaking of challenging assumptions,
yeah.
there's another theme that pops up in verse 2
Okay.
that I think is worth diving into.
All right. What's that?
The whole idea of collaboration.
Oh, yeah. Like the Newfoundland and his alien buddy Zeta.
Right.
They're working together, right?
Mm-hmm. Their partnership seems super important.
Yeah, it seemed like they really needed each other to get stuff done.
Yeah, and I think there's a deeper meaning to that.
Okay, what do you mean?
It suggests that searching for meaning, trying to figure things out,
Mm-hmm.
it's not something you do alone.
Okay.
It's like a journey you take with others.
I see.
even if they seem totally different from you.
That's funny. You know, like, when you first think about it, a Newfoundland and an alien,
Right.
you'd think they'd have nothing in common.
Yeah, total opposites.
But in these lyrics,
Yeah.
it's their differences that help them work together.
Exactly. They each bring something unique to the table,
Right.
different skills, different ways of thinking,
Right.
which lets them approach problems in new ways.
It's like two heads are better than one.
Yeah, exactly. But like a cosmic version of that.
I like that. Cosmic version.
And it's not just about solving problems,
Right?
Their collaboration also extends to those big questions.
Okay.
About reality, the divine, all that.
So they're not just coding together.
No.
They're like tackling these huge existential questions together.
Yeah, precisely.
So connecting this back to us, like in our own lives, are these lyrics saying that we can't find meaning alone?
Well, I wouldn't say we're dependent on others. It's more about understanding the value of different viewpoints.
Yeah.
You can learn so much from people who think differently.
Right, people who challenge you.
Yeah, who make you see things in a new way.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's a powerful idea.
Instead of just focusing on our own individual journeys,
Right.
we need to like acknowledge that we need each other.
Exactly, the importance of collective understanding.
Especially these days.
Yeah, when everything's so focused on the individual.
Right, like everyone's got to be self-made and all that.
Yeah, these lyrics remind us that real progress comes from working together.
I agree.
And understanding each other.
So we've got collaboration as this key element.
Yeah.
But there's also this other theme that seems kind of contradictory.
What's that?
It's this back and forth between free will and determinism.
Ah, yeah, fate versus choice, the classic debate.
Exactly, because on one hand,
Yeah.
it's like God is this programmer who sets the rules, writes the code for the universe,
Oh, right, so everything's pre-programmed.
Yeah, and we're just like following the script.
Makes sense.
But then we have the Newfoundland and Zeta actually messing with the code, making changes, influencing the outcome.
Yeah, shaping reality.
It's like they have some control,
Oh, exactly. They're not just watching the code, they're interacting with it.
So how do those two ideas work together?
It's tricky, right?
Yeah. Are we just puppets? Or do we have free will?
I don't know if there's an easy answer.
It's like a paradox.
It is. It's like the lyrics are presenting this tension that maybe we can't fully resolve.
So maybe it's not about finding the right answer.
Yeah.
It's about accepting that it's complicated.
I think so. Recognizing that fate and free will both matter.
So instead of getting hung up on who's in control,
Right.
maybe it's about how we navigate that tension.
Yeah.
How we make choices within the program.
Exactly. And I think that's where the real power is.
I see what you mean.
Not in trying to control everything,
Right.
but in understanding that we can make choices.
Within the system, within the code.
Precisely. That's where the freedom lies.
That's a really cool way to look at it.
It's empowering.
Yeah, instead of who wrote the code,
Mm-hmm.
it's how do we write our own lines?
Exactly. And I think that's a much more fulfilling way to think about life.
It really is.
Taking ownership of your choices, embracing the unknown.
And finding meaning in the journey.
That's it, the journey itself.
Man, we've covered so much ground.
We have, from collaboration to free will.
And we're not even done yet.
Nope, the final verse goes even deeper.
Oh, man. Can't wait.
Into the nature of creation, the power of code,
This is going to be good.
and our role in this whole digital tapestry.
Okay, so we're back
Yeah.
for the final part of our deep dive into eingefickter text.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. We've talked about, like, God as a programmer,
Right.
bugs in the matrix,
Yeah.
the power of working together.
Collaboration is key.
But there's this one question that I keep coming back to.
Okay, what's that?
If this universe is, like, actually code, what are WE in all of this?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is. Are we just, like, lines in the program? Or is there something more to us than that?
I think verse 3 gives us some clues.
Okay. How so?
Well, it's not just about observing anymore.
Okay.
Remember the Newfoundland and Zeta?
Yeah.
They were messing with time, like
Right.
changing creation through code.
Yeah, they were updating it like it was software.
Exactly.
They even mentioned using a hex editor to rewrite destiny.
It's a powerful image.
It is, but I'm not sure I get it.
What do you mean?
Like, are we supposed to believe that we can, like, actually rewrite our destinies with code?
I think that's where the metaphor comes in.
Okay.
It's not about taking it literally.
Okay.
It's about understanding that we have the power to affect our lives.
Through our choices, our actions.
Exactly. It's about agency.
So instead of being these like
Yeah.
predetermined lines of code,
Mm-hmm.
we can be, what, the programmers?
That's an interesting thought.
It is, right?
Yeah, it is. What if we can write our own subroutines?
Like within this bigger universal code.
Yeah, shape our own little part of reality.
So it's not about denying that there's a program.
Right.
It's about understanding that we can create within it.
Exactly. We have that power.
And the lyrics talk about like every loop, every if-else block reflecting these divine laws.
Right, like a blueprint.
So it's like we're not just writing random stuff.
No.
We're tapping into something bigger.
Yeah, something fundamental.
Okay, but if we're all coders, who wrote the original program?
Ah, the ultimate mystery.
Right.
And I love that the lyrics don't pretend to know.
Yeah.
Remember how they talk about God as the administrator?
Like the one who set it all up?
Yeah, there's this humility there.
Okay.
Like admitting that some things are beyond us.
It's like when you're looking at this
Yeah.
really complicated code.
Right.
And you realize how much you don't know.
Yeah, how deep it goes.
It's humble.
It is, but also kind of awe-inspiring.
Yeah, even if we don't understand everything, we can still appreciate it.
Exactly. The beauty, the complexity.
Like looking at the stars.
Yeah. And realizing how vast the universe is.
So even if we don't know who wrote the code,
Right.
the search itself is what matters.
Yeah, the journey of discovery.
It's about constantly learning and growing.
Exactly. That's where the meaning is.
And maybe as we explore the code of our own lives, we end up writing something that contributes to something bigger than ourselves.
Something beautiful.
Like, remember that line about
Which one?
every commit, every line, a prayer, a liturgy?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Like coding becomes something sacred.
It does, imbued with meaning.
It's not just coding, right?
No, it's anything we create.
Anything we put our hearts into.
Yeah, whether it's code, music, a business.
Even just being kind to someone.
Right. Those become our lines of code.
Shaping the world around us.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the main takeaway?
I think it's that no matter what, we are in this program.
Users, programmers, whatever.
We have the power to make choices, to create.
To find meaning.
And to shape our own reality.
And who would have thought?
I know, right?
That a song about a Newfoundland and an alien could lead to all these deep thoughts.
It's amazing where inspiration comes from.
It really is. So for everyone listening, keep your minds open.
Stay curious.
And your hearts ready for, the amazing things out there.
You never know what you'll find.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
And keep writing your own code.